So welcome to my newsroom. Let me give you a quick tour around, let you know what we do every day when we come here to produce a newscast and post our content online and on social media. So how does it all work? Well, we start with the bosses, right? The leadership team. It consists of 4 people. We have them sitting here, 2 at the podium and 2 next to them so that they can talk to each other. So you've got the executive producer, the assignment editor, the digital producer, and the TV producer, and each one of them has their own responsibilities. Of course, the executive producer and the assignment editor oversee everything that goes in the digital world and in the broadcast world, but the TV and digital producers, of course, have their own domains, but they all work together. We all exchange ideas, which is the best part of a newsroom. What they do as they oversee everything going on for the day, you see, they watch these monitors, they watch the pitches, what we have pitched by the MMJs for the day. They watch live TV, they're monitoring this constantly. We have national news, local news. So let me explain what happens at this table. At 4 o'clock, an hour before the live show, the broadcast producer takes everybody through the rundown, goes over all the things that we have, that we're still waiting on, last minute changes if there's breaking news, so everybody's on the same page. The meeting is attended by everyone who's involved in the live show, including the anchor, but most importantly, it's the volunteers and the SPMs who are going to air the show. We can't do without them, so everybody knows exactly what's in the rundown and how it's going to play on air. So that's a very important part of our day. And this is where the MMJs come back from their shoots. They bring in all their B-roll and interviews and everything that they've shot and create all their wonderful content for the broadcast, online and digital. On these computers, you have everything you need to produce your product. And now I want to introduce you to our new engineer, Tom White. Let's go meet him.
Now we are in the control room and we're going to go literally roll through all of the positions here in the control room, kind of give you a breakdown on what they are. We're going to start here with the capture computer. This computer is our fail-safe, it's our backup. If something happens with the stream, this computer will be recording the main output on the TriCaster, so that's what that's for. Next machine here is our teleprompter position. This position will control the speed of the text that is going to the teleprompters in the studio. This person, pretty simple job for the most part. You just have to be able to pay attention and listen. Arrows up, arrows down, speed up, slow down there. This monitor is replicated multiple times inside the control room, inside of Newsource, as well as inside the studio. Everything that goes on this monitor goes to those locations. This is the teleprompter. Next is the heart and soul of our newsroom. This is the TriCaster. This is the TriCaster control surface. A lot of buttons here. Don't worry, you won't use 90% of them, and they all are pretty much replications of the same thing. This monitor is primarily for the Newsource show. This monitor is for the critique show. The big monitor there is for producers, directors, professors, myself, somebody to watch over your shoulders and just make sure that everything is right. When it comes to the control surface here, the bottom stripe is primarily for Newsource. The top stripe is for the critique show. From here over, you probably won't use 90% of these buttons on a normal show. Rolling down a little further to our last position here in the newsroom, this is the producer station. This computer is used for Rundown Creator as well as our Unity server. Unity is our communications tool for our students out in the field, so you'll have the Unity app, can talk back and forth there. Rundown Creator will be here as well, so if the producer needs to make changes, they can. Speaking of communications, the producer has these panels here to communicate with in the studio as well as in the field. Live shot here controls to Unity, so anyone with the Unity app open can hear that. They can also talk back through this speaker with this here. The 4 IFB buttons here are for the anchors and the hosts in the studio. Sports, Anchor 1, Anchor 2, and weather can all be spoken to through these microphones. We've got one more position in the audio room. We'll get to that in just a moment. This is our final stop in our production room tour here. This is the audio room, audio board. This is another instance of the teleprompter monitor as well as program. So your audio, if you're an audio operator, you can see what's coming up, and that way you know to turn up the right thing. All of the pots are labeled here. It's pretty simple. Make sure your master's up and then the right pot is up.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
And that's it.
So this is the studio, and I'm playing the anchor. The first thing you do, walk in with your scripts, print your scripts. Very important, because the teleprompter could mess up, so you need that. And then what you do, you need your mic and you need your IFB. So this is all in this box, left neatly and nicely by the previous anchor. So pay forward, do the same. Do not throw mics and IFBs on the floor. Put them back in the box, just like they've been nicely put back into this box for you. And what you do, you take out the IFB, connect it to the little box here, which is your volume. So because you need to hear, and you need to set your volume, and you take out your microphone. And when you have them together in your hands, let's walk on to the set and I'll show you how to connect them and put them in your ear and on your lapel. Let's go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, mic check. Can you guys hear me? I guess they can. So what I do is I am micing myself up, which means I had to connect this wire into the microphone, and then I will try to tuck it in, clip it on, or just put it in my pocket, and I'm all set. I've got my mic. Very important not to distract the viewer with your mic or with earrings that are going all over the place. So it's really important to put it in neatly like this, which means you take the wire, you put it behind the clip, and you loop it over the clip, and then you clip it on your jacket. And then you just loop it again, clip it this way. We'll practice together, but see how neatly it looks? And so now you have to put your IFB in your ear. This is the way that the producer and everybody in the control room talks to you. If something's going wrong with the show, you know what's going on. Or any last minute changes, breaking news. So what you need to do is you need to take the wire and thread it behind your jacket, pull it, put it in your ear, like this. Put it in your ear, and then put the wire over your ear. So you see, the viewers cannot see it. It fits nicely, snugly behind your ear. Well, not always so snugly, but you get the idea. And then what you do with this IFB, you connect it to this little box that I told you for the volume. Check the volume. We're going to be talking to you. Check, check, check. And you need to connect it to this wire. And now we're all set. We're all wired for the show. And so you take your seat. And if you're vertically challenged like me, you have to raise your seat and make sure that you have your scripts in front of you. What I do, and what I used to do as an anchor, is to have the scripts in front of me laid out until a package or something recorded. So you see here, this is sort of like a reader, and then I have a toss to a package which goes into something that's recorded. So I can always read this and find my script real quick if something happens with the prompter, because I just have two scripts in front of me. I'm going to a recorded segment after that, so I can put these scripts at the bottom of the pile and do it all over again with the next scripts leading up to a break, let's say, or something that is recorded. It's very important when you're anchoring, you'll be reading a teleprompter, to try to be natural and genuine. Don't put on a Ron Burgundy voice. There is no anchor voice. It's just you speaking to people, sharing information with them, varying the tone, because something that is read nicely in the same way over and over again becomes monotonous. You'll be going faster at a higher pace if you were excited about something. It was a new dog park, which is ready and is opening up in Athens. So see how my voice went higher and I speeded up my delivery, because it's a happy story. But otherwise, if there's something serious like a car crash that happened, my voice goes down. And I also gesture, not too much. Sometimes I gesture too much, speak with my hands. So watch those gestures, but it's important, the gestures that come natural to you. You should also gesture. You should also use your head. Do not lock yourself into that teleprompter and not move. Be yourself. Have a pen, because you can take notes. If something goes, you have to tell us about breaking news, for example. You've got the pen and you can take some notes, right? And you can see what's going on. So this, in general, is what I would say about anchoring. Just be yourself. Oh, one important thing. You will notice that there's a red light that comes on. That's the camera that you should be reading off, because that means it's live air. So always look for the red light and know that that's the right camera to be on. And oh, don't wear green. You have a green chroma key behind you. It's not a good look. You're going to disappear. So now I want to show you two more positions in the weather position and reporter. And so this is where we do the weather. Notice there is nothing here, but the viewer is seeing the graphics. You are standing in front of the camera and you can actually see the graphics as you stand in front of the camera. You can also see them if you turn this way. You can see yourself pointing to different temperatures from this monitor. And then we've got this really nice big monitor on the side where when you turn this way, you see yourself this way. So you know what you're talking about. You can see the graphics. And don't stand centrally in front of the camera, because you see what happens. You are hiding the temperatures. So you always stand on the side like this and you explain. And you can walk back and forth to say, oh, here in the middle of the week, we will have thunderstorms. Don't give us all the temperatures and all the highs and lows. Give us the general trend, which for this week is we've got sunny days on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then, as you can see, on Wednesday, there are some thunderstorms expected. And then we have sunny days again on Thursday and Friday, or something like this. Just give us the trend of the weather. And then what we also ask our students to do is give us some weather-related news. For example, if it's really dry on Thursday and Friday, there might be a burn advisory. So you could tell people what to do if there's a burn advisory, so we save our forests. And you could have a little graphic with tips on what people can do. So this is the weather. And let me show you one more thing. And so here we are on the third set. blue chroma key, don't wear blue, you will disappear. And so again, like weather, you notice that there is nothing here, but actually you will be showing graphics or play a soundbite or show B-roll or any kind of visuals you want to play with. And you will actually look at the camera, and underneath the monitor will be showing you and actually giving you an idea as to what you are talking about. So you can have B-roll, you can roll a soundbite, you can do Q&A with the anchor, of course. When you're doing Q&A with the anchor, look at the camera, don't look at the anchor, even though the natural tendency is to do that, because you will be looking like you're looking away from your audience. So the show is over, and it's time for a live post-show critique. We'll discuss how we did. The class has been watching the show here on this monitor. We'll discuss what we did well, what we can do better, and then it's time to go home. We have written the first rough draft of history for Northeast Georgia. We go home and we come back and do it all over again.